This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately.
There's mosquitoes the size of bald eagles in that dadgum swamp.
What's going on, everybody? I'm gonna have another show later tonight, apparently. It's supposed to happen around 7 o'clock with Mike King's gonna come on. I guess he's a retired police officer who got into profiling, criminal profiling as well. That works with a lot of international companies and so forth. And I've seen his videos. It's like he knows what the hell he's talking about. So that'll be on at 7. But this is a different show right now where we're going to be talking about, if you watch the 2020 episode, like you, 8675309. You can call in and tell me what you thought about it. All right. Also, I was actually checking out the Mike D Experiences, his YouTube channel. He is pretty interesting. He just does all these little crafts and just life stuff. So you guys should check him out. I'll put his channel link right there in the description. It's in the chat, moving by. So click on that and take a look. I don't know if he's made any videos for a few years, but the ones I was looking at, it was pretty cool. He's sewing things, making leather wallets, gardening. All right, so there you go. Yeah. Oh yeah, what about what am I supposed to do for the wallet? What you should do is take the same image that's on this right there and put that on there. What do you think of that? Right there, huh? Put the Grant Hughes Investigates image. Looks like something you could put on there. Yeah. Thanks for the retweet. What do you mean? Hold on, let me... Yeah, would you go out and share the link? I'm going to put this on Facebook really fast. Hold on. Alright, there we go. There's one of them. Yeah. One thing I was just thinking about was, I don't know, it's weird. It's sort of when you're in the true crime community, you're in a weird position. Because sometimes you're looking at things and you want to speculate on things. And, like I was speculating, I made a video speculating and, even said that has a very likely isn't what happened, but I speculated on the boyfriend. Just used his first name, no image or anything like that. But even that, doesn't feel that comfortable, even doing something like that, right? It's sort of like, there wasn't when you look back, it seemed like the information surrounding him would be the most compelling information, especially those phone calls, and then law enforcement wasn't clearing him. And then the Gonzalez kept saying, I don't know why they're looking into him. And they were talking about law enforcement because nobody was talking about him at the time. So, and then it took law enforcement days to finally clear him compared to the other people. So he was sort of interesting, but at the same time, it's I don't the whole thing is he's traumatized by what happened to his love of his life, his Kaylee Gonzalez, and that's really what's going to affect him. There isn't anybody out there anymore that goes, ooh, he has something to do with it. I mean, as a matter of fact, that all ended once they cleared him, basically. Still, you would talk and say, wow, still interesting, but they've cleared him, so, boom, boom, boom. Then, also, I remember talking about when, what's his name? The other Jack was walking back with he was interesting to everybody. Even the news put his picture out there because he was back there lurking. But once they put out the video of him walking with Kaylee, and even before that, they already cleared him, so he wasn't as interesting to me anymore. But he's walking with Kaylee and Madison, and then you could tell, they're friends, and he literally became zero interest at all at that point. But then we saw the part where Kaylee said to Madison, Maddie, what did you say to Adam? I told Adam everything. So that was really interesting, right? Because they didn't really clear him. They just said he's cooperating. And so that's interesting wording. So a lot of times, like, law enforcement needs to be consistent with everybody that they're clearing and use the same wording, because as soon as you change it up a little bit, it has different meanings. So for a little bit of time, you wonder what that was, right? Probably turns out it's absolutely nothing. Nothing related whatsoever. Sounds difficulty skips. What does that mean? What are you guys talking about? Hello? Hey, look at that. It's Stacy. Yeah, so the phone lines are open if you want to call in and discuss the 2020 episode. This is just because it's an earlier show, it's no different than any other show. On this channel, every single day, the freaks help support the channel, and then I'm able to, with the income, I decide that I want to support various charities out there, and I do it sort of for all the freaks, even though it's really just my income, but it's my channel, and you guys are part of the channel, so that's what I do. And if you become a channel member, that also helps in that regard as well. Very cool. Thanks, Kubi, before the show started. But we're 11 minutes in, and let's see. Some art and listening. Yep. I don't know. How would we know the answer to that question, gravity reaction? So sometimes when you ask questions, just realize, how would anybody know the answer? No. Thank you, the Mike D Experience. Gonna have to start over on the wheel here. The Mike D Experience. There we go. Okay, you guys are in the system now. Oh, and Cheyenne R. Thank you. And also Being Nancy. So I think I'm going to try to be even more discerning. I tried to do it in a way where I wasn't, I mean, I don't ever, when I don't know somebody has something to do with it, unless it's really, really obvious, I don't accuse them. I just say, here are the circumstances. This person's interesting, and that's it. But I don't know if I you know, can you even do that in this in this world? Thank you, Cat, Aussie Girl, Being Nancy, Lane S. Chase Borden, are you related to Lizzie? That needs one of these. Chase Borden, are you related to Lizzie? Bada bing! Ah. Wonder Woman, get us out from under. Come on, you gotta admit, like, that was pretty good. I mean, that was... Watch, Distant Relative, Gray. Distant Relative. Hey, thank you so much,
Love
Tracy.
all you do, Gray. Keep up the good work.
Yep, I appreciate it. I've been working more on the model over here. Yeah, I'm trying to get in the... I've got the brick walls around there, and now I gotta like do some stuff where you pull the landscape up and around, and you know, then the landscape comes around over here, you know, so there's different heights of everything. It gets pretty complicated. And I lengthened these windows over here, made them the double pane ones, and you know, that's still just coming along. I don't have the inside stuff. I'd like to have images of each of the bedrooms inside, then I could at least put maybe some pictures or stuff on the wall just to make it more realistic looking. But and I know that there's also some walls that go around over here like this, but I'm not sure if they're made out of the same thing. They really haven't kept that property up. I mean, there's massive bricks and collapsing of their walls, and they just sit there. You know, there's no fixing at all. You know, it's interesting too, because the window for Kaylee's room was a lot taller than I had it, so you could really, if you were high enough up, you could see in there. I think this might be where Ethan really was, not her, because if police saw Zena right when they walked into the room, she was probably over here where I have him, right? You know, so maybe he could be moved over somehow, like back. Maybe we could try to do it just like this through the window. And maybe he's kind of over here, like this. And then take her. And then maybe put her over here. I mean, that's more accurately probably depicting what the probable cause document said, don't you think? But you know, they're really kind of vague on Ethan. When he's when they talk about him, it's just really vague information. So I'm not sure if they're trying to keep a little information from the public out of the probable cause so that they'll know when they speak to somebody, if they tell the story, then they'll have the actual answer. You know, like for example, what if... Well, I mean, the probable cause, you don't lie in a probable cause document. So I'm not really sure. Hey, thank you, Lark E. So anyways, I feel... I think what I did was, the way I did it was responsible, but at the same time, it's kind of like, man, I don't know. It makes me not want to even go that far down in a speculative way on other cases. What do you guys think about that? I mean, I don't mind talking about, hey, what did it mean when somebody said, what did you say to Adam? And, you know, wherever that might lead. Did they go back home, tell somebody something? And I mean, that's all something to think about, but it's just, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm just thinking. Yeah. But I do it. I don't word it the way other people like, oh my God, this guy's guilty. This guy's really sus, man. He did this and he did that. Oh, look at this, look at it, look at it. I just made a video and I said, This is what's going on here. Is it possible this happened? And I even said it's likely this isn't the case. However, this is interesting. So I don't know. It seems like it's okay to do it like that, but at the same time, it doesn't feel good even that way when it turns out the person isn't related. Right? Like it's makes you feel bad. Anyways. Right. Yeah, don't you hate that word, Bryan? I do too. Jeez. You know, I was on, again, after the show last night. It always happens. So you got the Scientific Skeptic was doing a show, and I go on there. You know, he invited people up there, and it was like 10:30, but I always go, okay, I'm going to get off of here in an hour. It never happens. You know, never happens. You're on there for 3-4 hours. You know, I was up way too late. You know, it's ridiculous. Anyways, I was on there. It was pretty, yeah, it was interesting. It's fun. It's always kind of fun to go on there and hang out, you know. Have you heard about Ethan wounds being super bad? Well, all I've ever heard is that Kaylee's were bad. There's a lot of speculation going on out there. I'm not really sure what's true and what's not in this case. The letter that I read the other day, I think has some, you know, you got to give that letter a lot of credibility because that person, their source, which is a best friend of Dylan Mortensen, knew about the bushy eyebrows. Now, the fact that you would know about that detail is pretty mind-boggling. Okay, if the rest of it's totally bogus. So when you put that in there, and then that could have been her perception at the time of various things that, oh yeah, Ethan was there. But man, it just feels like, why would that other stuff not be true, yet the bushy eyebrow part from November 21st is the only thing that was accurate in there. Yeah, that's the source is a friend. That's what I'm saying. I mean, how else do you think somebody would know? And they were told this very early on, the first 2 or 3 days. Then the gag order and protection started happening with the survivors. Like they were actually put on full protection. Let me get this playing. Oh, here we go. We got somebody called in. 913, you're on. Hello.
Hold on, let me mute my. Hello.
Well, yeah. Who's this?
Muting my. Yeah, I'm muting your show.
Oh, the radio guy again. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I watched your 20-minute preview. I don't know what you call it. It was a 20-minute. It was a wonderful recap of your investigation done on digital with Google Earth, and I think you did it. You released it earlier today, maybe the day before.
Well, it wasn't really a recap of that. I was reading the email, but at the same time, I put the digital stuff in the background just as sort of B-roll footage, but I put it in order.
It was great. It was absolutely great. I consider it sort of a cap. I watched it today, and I was like, wow, this is like a Grant Hughes at his best. I mean, it's pretty good work. I'm going to put it on my Facebook page and share it and try to get people to check out your work.
Well, it doesn't have, that one video doesn't seem to have many views compared to the other ones. I don't know why, but just strange.
Well, it was sort of a recap, Gray. It really was. I mean, it was a great. It encapsulated a lot of your work, the digital work that you've done. I think it was hell. I'm just trying to give you a goddamn compliment. All right, so
yeah, no. What I'm saying though is that, like, what I don't like is when I put out one has information in it that wasn't known to the public early on, but I put a version of it out. Just the wording that I was just reading an email, and then the video was just in the background. So the thing is this is information that I think after we got the probable cause and you reread it,
right,
you can kind of see how accurate it is. And then there was a new email that came in that further explained how Dylan Mortensen was feeling.
Okay, could you clarify that? I was sort of wondering about that. Clarify the second email. Was that immediately after? I mean, I think the first one you got, which is
I got one on the 16th of December. I got one on the 22nd of November, the 23rd of November, just a really short one. Then the 16th of December, and then the last one was during the show on the 12th. They sent it in because we were talking about that, and they had clarified and updated the information.
Well, I'm telling you, if your audience is paying attention to what you're doing, that tells you right there that you're right on the pulse of you've got people that are watching that are directly concerned. They're on the ground. I think that's absolutely wonderful. Like I said, I'm going to share it. But I have a question for clarification because I miss it. You know, I'm sorry, I don't watch your show every day. I enjoy it, but I just can't do it. I have to work, you know.
Yeah.
But this thing I've got stuck on. I thought about when I was at work and doing things, you know, and I was like, wait a minute, this guy, he's the alleged guy. What's his name? Kohberger. He travels all this way around disputing claims about where he travels. But at one point he goes to an Albertsons, and I know cops. I work with cops, and I know them. They don't have to tell you everything by any means, and they can even lie to you during interrogations. It's okay. I mean, that's what they do. But when he went to Albertsons, it says unknown what he bought. Now, I know
they have to know what he bought.
Yeah, they have to know. They have to know what he purchased. Mm-hmm. And do you think, based on the timeline, you and other people, but I get confused, but do you think it's possible he went to this national park would it be possible he went after he went to Albertsons, bought this stuff, and then went to? Did he travel to a national park? Do you think he was dumping his dirty work, the evidence?
Well, the only problem is I haven't been able to clarify what Johnson they were talking about, the Idaho Johnson, because it does say that on the probable cause, but there's also a Johnson just south of Pullman on the same route that he would have driven on. So and then it gets kind of so did they make a mistake and it was Johnson, Washington? You wouldn't think they'd make a mistake like that, but there's been a few outlets that said they clarified that it was Johnson, Washington, but I need to see that for myself. But
good for you.
There's 6 hours of missing time, right?
Yeah.
Regardless of where he went, there's because he went to the Albertsons at 104 is when he was leaving. So that's where they physically were able to tie his face and him to the white Elantra as he got into it. And then after that, his phone doesn't ping again from 104 all the way up until like 5:30. So that's actually more like 4 hours there. And then after that, it doesn't ping again until 8:30. So that's 7 hours of missing time.
It's something very sneaky stuff going on there, and I had to call in and ask you what you thought about that, and to congratulate you once again for doing a great show, and your 20-minute pre-release, I don't know what you call it, that was a great thing where you read the emails that you received. A lot of your freaks, I'm a freak, I'm one of your freaks. Cool. That's got to give the freaks something to think about. What you did on that video, reading those emails, very cool shit, man. I mean, really cool.
Yeah, well, the comments, they're really, a lot of people in the comments seem to appreciate it. It has a lot of likes for the view count, so that's pretty good.
Yeah. Hey, off the cuff a little bit, just short. I'll be quick. What do you think of this recent? If they're in, is it a big nothing burger about the Delphi with what's his name, Richard Allen? That court appearance. Is there anything you think that's developing off that other than we're going to have to wait for the trial?
Well, the court appearance, it was just a standard appearance where they were saying that they're going to have the trials in Carroll County, but the jury will be brought in from somewhere else. This one wasn't really a lot of, didn't have a lot of interesting stuff in it.
Yeah, that's what I thought, sort of, after watching you and other ones. One more last question. This new case you're starting to open up with, that came out of the blue.
Which one was
Kansas.
That? Which one was that?
I think about the woman the landfill, the husband. I don't know her name. I'm sorry. I should have kept better. You're trying to open up new cases, and I'm sort of.
The only one that I opened up more recently was the case where the two caretakers were taking care of 6 kids, and then 2 of them were left behind. Well, one was left behind. One of the other ones, I think, was probably murdered, because they just charged the 2 caretakers with murder in that case.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to follow this with you. I want to congratulate you on your ability. I'd say I hope you have the same alluring attraction that in future crimes that you report on, that in your other cases, because this 20-minute video you posted yesterday was amazing. Hey, really, dude, honestly, that encapsulated your digital, your work at using digital media. I was really fascinated. I congratulate you on getting on the ground, eyes and ears on the ground, attracting those kind of people to who know something to your show. I really appreciate that. Yeah,
I might actually go there myself with my drone maybe in February sometime, just to really I want to get the landscape better. I'm going to film it the way that people need to be able to see things, not just. It always seems like people just they go out there and they film it in sort of a way that's just so common and just
right.
Let's go up in the air, pan around a couple times. Hey, call it a day. I don't really want to do it like that. I want to do a whole bunch of different things with it. Like maybe a really high shot where it pans around, looks at the whole area, then one down low where it kind of maybe follows along the route that the vehicle took, and then right around the property, get in there tight, look around, just things like that. Seems like it'd be easy. But here's the thing. I would say this before then. There's going to be people allowed to go into that house. Like pretty soon, people are going to be allowed to walk around in there.
That's crazy. I don't know what to tell you about that. I just know I bought my son a drone. He's never taken it out of the case, and I took it out and said, "Let's fly this thing," and good luck. Good luck with you on doing it. I appreciate your show. I really enjoy it, and thank you for doing what you do. And I've been telling my friends about your work, and I appreciate it. And that's all I got to say.
Well, thank you.
I'm from Kansas. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Have a good one. Take care. Nope. Take off. And thanks, Ultra Dark CEO, for the Cash App. Kubi. Yeah, it might even be more like 7, because it's 1:04 up until, so it's 4.5. There's 7.5 hours of missing time. It's pretty wild. Thanks, Kubi. 6 hours of missing time for Bryan. What about the missing time for Zena and Ethan? Any correlation? No. Because the missing time is after the murders. So he'd already killed Ethan and Zena over here, and like in the house there, and then went all the way back to his house. Then he went back at 9 o'clock in the morning. And then he went back home again. Then he drove south all the way down to. This is they had already discovered their bodies by this time. So he's down here. He shows up on camera at 12:36. The 911 call, if I remember right, was around 11:50. So this is about 45 minutes after the 911 call was made. Then he goes over to the Albertsons right here. And then after Albertsons, his phone doesn't ping again, either here in Johnson, Idaho, or right here in Johnson, Washington. It doesn't ping there again until 5:30. It's not, and this 5:30 here is a different 5:30. That's on the drive back in the morning. I'm talking about, I think it was 5:32 to 5:36, if I remember correctly, that the phone pinged in Johnson, Idaho, or Washington. We don't know. Then it didn't ping again until 8:30 after that. So that's where the missing time is on that day, the same day of the murders, but after the murders. See what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, you guys, the phone lines are open. Did you watch the 2020 special or what? I want to know what your thoughts were on it. I thought it was pretty well done. Really got you to you got to know the victims a little better too. I feel really awful for all of the family members, and the boyfriends, and of all the different individuals, but I think I feel the worst for some reason for, I think, Madison's dad. Wasn't that his only child? And it's just, what a nightmare. I don't know if that was his only child. Maybe it was, is it Zena that only has one? I don't remember which one, but I just feel really bad for I have more emotion when I see Madison's dad. He just, he's hanging in there, but man, it's rough. Okay, that's what I thought, but somebody up there said no right after I said that. Thank you, Scouting Dude. My cup of joe for the day. Yeah. No, I don't think Kaylee is. No, she has a sister. And yeah, when I was watching that, I was just thinking, man, what a nightmare to raise such a great kid. I mean, very intelligent too, it sounds like just a very smart person, very pretty. I mean, she was gonna be able to do everything. He was probably just so proud. He used to say how he'd show everybody the pictures, and and just some psycho goes in there and kills her. Just god awful. I mean, they're all the same, but I'm just saying, for some reason, that's the one. He seems almost alone in it. Like he doesn't have any more kids, and I don't know if he's even married or what's going on there, but you pretty much only see him a lot of the times, and it's just, it's bad. Doesn't really seem like he has a lot of people to hang on. And then I feel really bad for Jack, the boyfriend, especially after, I think it was right, like I was saying, right around the 21st is when I got, 22nd, that email. And when you hear that version of what happened, it makes you just think, God, he probably will blame himself forever that he didn't answer that phone, because maybe he could have came over. Even though it wasn't a call for help, though. You know, it wasn't, you know, Madison and Kaylee weren't calling Jack on the phone, or Kaylee wasn't calling Jack on the phone because they felt like they were in danger or in trouble or anything like that at all. Right? Hey, thank you so much up there to CG. Okay, well, just type in what was said by Ashley. Just tell us what was said about what Adam was told by Madison, okay? You know, we're not going to go look at somebody's channel. I'm not sure why he's doing interviews with YouTubers, to be honest with you, but let's see. He would have been a victim too, probably. Yeah, I think so. I mean, what a dumb comment. You come in, hey, over here it said what the answer was. Why don't you just type in what the answer was? I don't know what the deal with people are, you know. The slow game. You know, when you're on Facebook and somebody goes, hey, Gray, can I ask you a question? And then, like, I finally see the message, and I say, yeah, why didn't you just ask the question first? And then they go, well, I just wanted to see if I could ask the question. Then there's another pause there. And then I go, well, what's the question? Well, I'm just not sure if you want... Oh, God, just ask the damn question, okay? I mean, I'm getting mad just thinking about how that goes. I mean, don't you guys feel the same way? Just ask the damn question. Yeah, right. They were taking a break from the relationship. Yeah. So that's the answer to the question? I'm not sure what it is. Just, ugh, God. Yeah, I forgot the question after 15 different... and that's what was cool. You know the individual who sent me the information about the bushy eyebrows? She sent a first email, and then I said, you know what? I mean, it was sort of going to be... I actually said, listen, I don't want to do the back and forth thing, so if you just want to type in... She goes, oh, great. I don't want to do that either. Boom. I mean, see, that's how awesome that was. She just typed in a whole thing, and I thought that was kind of cool. Finally, somebody gets it, like doesn't want to do the slow sort of game that people like to play. Yeah. So I never called Jack a murderer. I just said, is it possible that these things happened here? Right? It's the people... I think there's a big difference between having a theory and people going, oh, yeah, there's no doubt about it. This guy, look at this. And they go on and on and on, accusing somebody. And there is a difference there, but a lot of people don't understand the difference. So that was cool. Huh? What are you talking about? What happened to... Tina up there. Oh, I think, how did she get timed out by anybody? How does oh wait, she's not a moderator here. She's one on Discord. She pretty much runs the show over there. Sorry about that. She was trying to, but you shouldn't even have been removing the comment that Ryan made, though. That's the thing, Shogun. He was answering the question that I wanted an answer to. So that's what was said, Ryan, on the show, was that they were taking a break. That's what was told to Adam. Okay. Mm-hmm. Right. No, I mean, but the one of Ryan, I'm talking, I know the one that Tina was a mistake. But just above it, the comment Ryan made, you didn't need to remove that one. Okay, that's what the comment was about. Okay. All right. The security guard friend of his and his relation to the places he drives is quite in. What are you talking about? The security guard that was being blamed on that post has nothing. I guarantee it has nothing to do with anything. Okay? Are you basing it on that? The security guard friend of his and his relation to the places? That's a joke. You're not really interested on that, are you? That little email that somebody, or Facebook post that somebody made that was likely the sister. I mean, not likely the sister, but claiming to be the sister of Bryan Kohberger. That whole thing was just an absolute joke. That, oh, we go hang out in a parking lot and do drugs together. Well, it just, it happens to be the parking lot where the murders happen. We go there all the time, explaining away his pings. That ping there 13 different times. Right, that one. What does that mean, Jody H? That's okay if nobody wants to call in. I mean, we don't have. It's not really a big crowd today. I didn't post it in all the different groups. But if you have seen the 2020 ABC 2020 episode, it was 2 hours long. Call in and tell me what your thoughts were on that. Now, if it was his sister, we don't know, but the person in there was basically claiming it was his sister because they said something about our father or something like that. Do you think maybe the knife was buried on this desolate road right here? Because if it turns out that this Johnson, Idaho, is the spot, then it's possible he was out in this area. Because there is no real reason to make this cutoff turn here. And go on this really crazy drive through this rural area and then coming out in Uniontown over here. I mean, it does cut it off, but I don't think it's any quicker because this is highway and this is a really windy, slower road there. That's why I have that circle there, because I'm interested in that spot. Yeah, we haven't even had the Marilyn Monroe lady call in anymore. Things everywhere he went. Yeah, he could have been dropping little items off all over the place. But there's one thing that's not good about that, is it gives more places for somebody to find something. Because any item that he discarded leads to him. So a smarter way would be to put everything in one safe, secure location, not discarding things all over the place where somebody would stumble upon them. Yeah, we've heard that theory that Bryan Kohberger ordered the takeout to be delivered at the house. The idea is that he was setting up the driver as a possible suspect. Yeah, I think it sounds far-fetched. I think it sounds ludicrous. The other theory is that he waited for them to open the door and then pounced. No. See, I'm actually liking the least popular theory that I have is the one where if you take this right here, I'm going to go back into the house again. And so after this is right now, it's Zaina getting her, you can almost look at it like this. I mean, it's weird how you can Like, here's the door that goes outside. She gets her DoorDash delivery, shuts the door. Then she goes up the stairs right here. Then after that, she goes around here and goes into the kitchen where, and so this would probably 403, 404, right when Kohberger is pulling up behind the house. So she's in the kitchen and the light's on, so he's not going to attempt to go in there during that time. So the light's on. Then he waits for her to come out, maybe even waits 5 minutes or so. Maybe even more. I mean, I think it's possible he came into the house at 4:12. And she comes around like this, goes into this room. Maybe they eat their burger really quick or just hang out for a few minutes, and Ethan was going to take his. Then just look where we're looking right here. The Kohberger comes walking down the hall right here, just as Ethan and Zane are here. Maybe Zane is in front because remember, she's going to go unlock the door for him. So maybe that was downstairs. And she's in front and then looks at this guy walking here and goes, hey, somebody's here. Then that person heard Zana, turns around and goes after them and starts attacking them. And they end up, maybe they're both found in the room here. When I keep saying maybe because we're not there, right? And then Zana is in so he goes like this. He chases them down like this. And then in the room, so now I have Zana right there. And then maybe right down here is where Ethan was found. But he goes in there and attacks him. But at first, you might make an argument that she's been injured badly, but would be over in this area, like right here on the bed. Like she was attacked, got on the bed and was attacked, and she's bleeding profusely. That's why you get that blood that runs down, but that also could be Ethan. All right, then the killer retreats, and then after that, there he is. He goes up the stairs, checks Kaylee's room and finds nobody in there, but the dog's in there. Then he shuts the door behind him. Then he goes into this room and he attacks both Kaylee and Madison, who were sleeping. They have been drinking. They have no ability to defend themselves at all. This is Madison right here, and he leaves the sheath right there. Then the killer heads down the stairs, and while he's down here, he hears moaning coming from Zana's room. Now, he realizes, wow, I haven't killed them yet, so I'm going to go back like this. So now he comes down the stairs, walks into the living room right here. Then he goes back in there, and he says, I'm here to help you. You know, it's okay. I'm here to help, right? Then he attacks Kaylee again, and she maybe even gets up to try to get help. You know, doesn't know who, you know, she's just out of it because she's been stabbed. And then he stabs her some more and then throws her on the ground. That's why you hear the thud at 4:17 in the morning. And you hear it from the camera right down the street. Then after that, he then takes off, heads this way, takes a right, and right now, if I open up this door right here, it's like this, just a jar, and Dylan Mortensen's looking right at this guy as he walks by, and right here he takes a right. Can you guys see this camera right here? That's where he heads out into the kitchen, out the sliding glass door. So what's cool about that theory is it takes into account all of the different pieces of information that we have. It doesn't make sense to me that Ethan would be the one that would say something like, it's okay, I'm going to help you, when he's been mortally stabbed. I mean, it doesn't make sense. To me, it means that at that point, she's the only one around and a non-injured person is talking to her. So how is that happening? And how did that happen? If that was during the initial attack of them, why would she say, it's going to be okay? Or he say, it's going to be okay. I'm here to help you. Just ask yourself that. Why would he say that in the initial attack? That's not what's going on. He says it later, possibly, to keep her from screaming because he realizes she was alive at a later time. I know that sounds weird. You know, there's, absolutely could not be, possibly not be true what I'm saying right now. But what I'm trying to do is make it fit into what we heard in the probable cause document. All right? And if it's not the way what happened, then it's not what happened. Hey, where's the iPhone that just... Oh, there's somebody that called in. Let me get this one. People keep calling in. There's 2 phone calls that called in and then they hung up. Yeah, I mean, it does make sense. So you just think about the DoorDash being dropped off at 4-ish. Kohberger at 4:05 parks up behind there. We don't know exactly when Zena went down to get the DoorDash, but let's just say it's the DoorDash was delivered at 4:02 even, and then she goes down and gets it at 4:03 or 4, you know, goes and gets it. Then she's in the kitchen when Kohberger's parking his car. He sees the light on down in the kitchen, waits another 7 or 8 minutes or so. Then he goes into the house. As he's walking in, because his main goal was to head upstairs, and that's right when Ethan was leaving, and that matches the letter that I got too. And then maybe Zena's in front and says, "Hey, somebody's here." And then Ethan is right there too, and then the killer hears that, turns around with his knife, and he attacks him, and he sort of chases him for a little bit with his knife out back into that room area and kills both of them, or attacks both of them. He thinks Zena's dead. I mean, he has stabbed her mortally and just assumes she's dead, and then he leaves and goes upstairs, kills Madison and Kaylee. Then on the way down, hears Zena whimpering, crying, and these all match up to what Dylan Mortensen said too. Then says, "It's okay, I'm here to help you." Kills her. She ends up falling on the ground with a big thud. He might have thrown her on the ground, we don't know. Then exits the house through the kitchen, takes off at 4:20, is seen speeding away from the scene. All right, there you go. That's the quick, shorter version right there. And pretty soon here, I'm going to have to toss myself in prison, because we're definitely on one of these. See, I was just on a show last night talking about it. Like, what do like, people don't like the fact that I try to, if people can afford it, they send in super chats to help support the channel and whatnot. There's people on, like, all over the place that don't like it. However, it's the only way to make something happen, okay? If you don't ask, nobody does it. I mean, they do it, but it's nowhere near the same. So, if you feel like you can help support the channel, that would be awesome with the super chats, PayPal, whatever you feel like. Now, here's another thing. If you want to send your money, I'm not a charity intake company. If you want to make a donation to a charity, do not send it to me. If you're sending money into me, it's to help support my channel, but I also take a large portion of the income every month and send it into charities for the channel itself, okay? So that's the reality there. Also, if it's going to affect your life in any way, by sending in, like, I don't want you to send something in. If you're a person, I appreciate your thought, but if you type in, "Oh, this is all I can afford," like, here's $4. I mean, I really appreciate it, but at the same time, I don't want you doing it if you're in that position. Do you understand what I'm saying? I want you to keep that and do something else. Save it. All right. It's for if people just feel like, hey, I've got extra money here. It doesn't affect my life at all, and here you go. Thank you for doing what you're doing. I would feel great about that. Oh, by the way, thank you, classical guitarist and scouting dude. Whoa. Jeez, thank you very much. Yeah. So, unfortunately, that's kind of the way it works. You have to say something, and if you don't, then, sometimes people it's not on the top of people's mind. There you go. I got Scouting Dude and classical guitarist in there. And thank you very much, the Mike D Experience. Yeah. So, by the way, what do you guys think of the... I want to know... let me put this in here. Hold on a second. I'm going to do a poll here. What do you think my theory makes sense? There you go. Oh, wow. Well, thank you so much, Scout Dude. Hit the like button. Hey, he's telling everybody to hit the like button, man. Hey, I really appreciate it. Wow. And thank you, Miranda Lee. And the poll is anonymous. So even if you're like, oh, I like Ray, but I don't agree, just hit whatever the one you really feel. I know that's what you guys do, but just want to make sure. All right, now for the ones that say no, why doesn't it work for you when it takes into account of everything that is in the probable cause document? Yeah. All right, hold on a second. Oh boy, here we go. Hello.
Hello?
Hello, who's this?
Hi, this is Stephanie. I'm
Hello.
a loyal listener.
Okay, what's going on, Stephanie? Never really sure.
Okay, I turned my TV down. That might help. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
I had a question.
Yep, what's that?
Why do you think it took the roommate so long to call?
We've already got. I don't really care. I mean, I'm not gonna keep talking about the roommates. I know that you're a listener and everything, but I've gone through the roommate.
No, I turned it on halfway through.
No, I know, but like on other shows over and over and over again, and I say, the roommates, and the only reason people ask that question is they think that they're involved somehow. Because
oh no, I don't at all.
I know, but
no,
other than that, there's no reason for it. Well, I actually answered it in the video that I gave yesterday. They gave a longer explanation. They were saying that that she was like petrified in fear, just sitting there in the middle. I mean, I can read that part again, but I mean, when you say like what makes you say like that? Yeah. Because,
no, I'm just curious. Like, I don't know if I thought someone was robbing me or robbing my house.
I know what you I get it. Like what you would do isn't what she would do. But what I'm saying is why do you need to know the answer to that question when we already know it's Bryan Kohberger who's the killer?
Oh, yeah, I was just curious what your thoughts were as to why it wasn't reported earlier.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying you watched the show, but I've put out like 3 or 4 different videos. I've talked about it. Last night I even put out a video that's 20 minutes long that reads through email exchange that I got from November 22nd, and then even an update on the 12th of more clarification on what was going on there. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, hold on a second.
I don't see every video of yours. I'm sorry for that.
Oh my God! I'm just kidding. I don't care. Let me get the.
I try and catch the ones I can.
Yeah, it's just one of these things that it's just after a while, Okay, let me read the update that came in on. Yeah, for some reason that's not in there. Well, no, that's not it. Let me go back out here. We gotta close this down.
Oh, I have another question too.
Oh yeah, what's that?
Do you think that I'm really wondering why? I mean, I do believe he did. He is guilty. Bryan, that's Kohberger. But
yeah.
I was just curious as to maybe your thoughts as to why he didn't have any, like when they pulled him over, and for what you could see through the cops'
Well, first of all,
camera.
they pulled him over a month and 3 days after he committed the murders. So.
Oh, was it a month?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. I was confused about that. Okay. Do you think that there was because I'm just surprised that he could overpower, because Ethan looked right around the same size
but
and
he's pretty
stature.
strong himself, and Ethan had some drinks, and it's late at night, and probably was attacked with a surprise, like out of nowhere was stabbed, and then at that point he probably doesn't know what to do. So.
Wow, I'm curious to know, like the DoorDash driver, and all that, and I'm wondering how long the whole killing took. You know what I mean? Like.
Here, let me just read this part here. Let me just read this part here. I think the killings took place in a 5-minute window. That's what I think. So here we go.
Wow.
I mean, that's just my opinion, because I have my character walk through the home in 1:20.
Oh, I saw that.
And goes to every single room in the house where he wasn't doing it. And he's killing people in a frenzy. So it's not like you have to spend 10 minutes in each scene. That doesn't even make any sense. But anyways, here's what the updated email from the 12th. She said, spoke with a friend today. She told me the story again and explained it a little more. It's nothing earth-shattering, but she said Dylan said she heard noise. Are you still there? You're making a lot of noise.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. But she said Dylan said she heard noises, voices, crying, and at first she didn't realize, she didn't really think anything of them, the sounds that she was hearing. But then it got where she realized something was wrong. She froze in fear, and we all know, and closed and locked her door. She was waiting for someone to come out and say something, or for Maddie and Kaylee to come down the stairs. She was petrified and didn't want to see what had happened. She kept waiting, and no one called out, and no one came downstairs. She also didn't know if anyone may be still in the house, like the killer, right? And then, or whoever that was, and then she said, it started getting late, and she got to the point she couldn't wait anymore, and that's when she called her friends. She said something to the effect of, something happened here. I don't know what, but please come and see what happened and bring everyone. So whoever she spoke to agreed. She gave them the code. You don't need to do the like you're hearing right stuff, and just let me just get through it. She gave them the code to the front door, and then they came over and discovered what happened. My friend said that Jack D, the boyfriend of Kaylee, ex-boyfriend, asked Dylan, why didn't you call the police right away? She said, I don't know. I was scared. I don't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. And that may not be the exact quote, this is what I'm being told, but something along those lines. So these are things that things told by Dylan was in the very beginning of the investigation, because within a few days of the murders, Dylan and the other surviving roommate, Funk, were put under police protection, and no one was allowed to talk to them or come visit, etc. She told me they took their cell phones, laptops, internet access. There were police posted outside their homes. So my friends, I'm not going to say that part. They also were protecting Jack S. That's the hoodie guy from the grub truck.
Yeah.
And she said that even took down his mailbox because of death threats, with people saying things like, we're going to do what you did to them. That's why Dylan and Bethany weren't heard from or even spoken to the victim's family. So there you go. I mean, so that's the thing. Is, I've felt exactly the same way. Like I was saying when I was a kid, I was at this camp where it looked like they were saying that Bigfoot was around. You know, I mean, I know it's weird, but I was like 11 or something.
Right.
And, you know, and I was sitting there and I was like, oh, God, there's Bigfoot. So I went to sleep and I kept hearing this. And I just sat there absolutely petrified the entire night. Like, literally, I could barely, I mean, it was just incredible. Like, petrified is the right word. I did not move a muscle, and I was just waiting for a voice, somebody to say something in the morning,
No, I got
so
you.
I could
Yeah.
wake up.
Yeah, I hear that. Do you remember Kaylee's dad, I believe it was, had given an interview saying that she had mentioned that she was being stalked?
Yeah,
Am I correct on that?
Yeah, the way that Steve Gonzalez said it on the 2020, it seemed like they were referring to the incident that was mentioned it was mentioned in one of the updates, that it was people following her out of a store one time, and they talked to those people and they cleared it up. And that's the same thing that's one of the interesting parts about the 2020. They weren't talking about a random different sort of stalker. It seems like he was referring to the ones that they cleared at one point. That's what it sounded like to me, but maybe there's a whole nother person. I mean, I don't know.
Could Bryan be the stalker?
I mean, it could be. That's, everybody, we talked about that one time. But.
I wonder if he remembered that he's like, oh my God, where my sheets, and maybe that's why he came back to the scene of the crime at 9:30.
Yeah. Yeah, he came back at he left Pullman at 9. I think he got there at 9:12 or something to Moscow, maybe to come, admire his handiwork, or perhaps try to find the sheath that he lost. Don't know.
Did you see the one YouTube video? Last thing I'm going to ask real quick. Did you see the YouTube video that one of his previous friends from high school, I believe Pleasant Valley it was, in PA, she had, I guess, drove him around because he was on drugs, I guess, pretty bad back in the day?
Well, she was the one that originally came out. Yeah. Yeah, that was on, she was actually on the 2020 special, too.
I was. See, I missed it. I missed the special. I haven't seen that yet even. So.
Okay.
But thank you for taking my call.
Well, thanks for calling in. I don't mean to give you a bad time, but this is one of the pet peeves I've had, is people still wondering.
I'm sorry.
People still, well, no, I mean, I literally have said that people, I would time out people if they keep saying, why didn't Dylan call? Because it's like, what difference does it make at this point? She's not the killer.
How's that even relevant? Yeah.
Right. So there you go.
Yeah, no problem. Sorry, my bad about that.
Well, it's no big deal. No big deal. But I appreciate your call. It was interesting, the other stuff. So
I'll keep on freaking.
All right. Have a good one. All right,
you too. Bye. Okay. Bye.
Yeah. Man, I was like, what? Are you kidding me? Anyways, thanks for calling in, though. What do you mean sound problems? Are you guys having sound problems here? Honestly, is this not working? Everything looks totally fine on my end here. And thank you up there to Scout Dude again, who said, I had a grenade land on my feet. I lost control of my legs and started vomiting. Luckily, they forgot to pull the pin. I froze in that moment and have been trained not to freeze. You never know what you will do. Wow, that's crazy. That must have been a nightmare. Like, you probably see your life flashing in front of your eyes. Is that a real thing, by the way? Where you see your life flash right in front of you? I could imagine it being so. Now, you don't know what she stated, Bella Chow. You have no clue what she stated early on. You're just listening to, social media YouTubers. You don't know where she was sleeping. It might have been reported she was sleeping on the first floor out there, and maybe that was for deceptive purposes so that the killer had no idea that he was seen because they don't think he ever went onto the first floor. Doesn't that make a lot of sense there? But you have no idea what she said early on. There was just things early on that we, from her friends, made comments like that she they heard things and locked their doors. That turns out to be accurate. I don't know. He might have, Victorian, but it could be that he left. His DoorDash, if he pulls up at 4, drops it off, he's out of there at 4:02, then Bryan pulls up. They may have passed. We don't know. I'm addicted to pain pills? Wow. It's awesome. Let's see. I'm addicted to pain pills. Oh, jeez. That's some good stuff right there. Anyways, have a good one. Yeah, I mean, who's having sound problems? Wait, what? Like, you guys are saying yes, you're having sound problems? That doesn't make any sense. There's nothing different going on here. All right, 6:02, you're on.
Oh, let me turn my... Hi there. This is Donna, 3 Collies calling in.
Oh, cool. What's going on?
Okay, I just have a question. Your theory, I agree with it, but I was wondering if why would he have left the sheath upstairs if Zena and were the first, or Ethan, I'm sorry.
Well, why not? I mean,
yeah.
What I'm saying is when people say that the knife being upstairs, it means that they were killed first. I don't see how it means that. You know, like, if he had the knife in a sheath that he had in his pocket or something, it just could have fallen out, like dropped it at that point too. I mean, we don't know. You know, I don't think it indicates who was first or not.
Okay.
I mean, what makes you think it does?
I guess I would think that if he was upstairs first, or first of all, do we even know that the DoorDash person actually handed the food to Zane?
Well, I don't know. I just say that he dropped it off, and then she went down when she felt like getting it, but it was probably really close to that time, and then went and got it. Went to the kitchen because the bag's in the kitchen, and you know, there's a lot of people that come up with stuff out there that. Maybe she never even got her food, but somehow the bag ends up in the kitchen. Yeah.
Oh, it's just driving me nuts. If he had the sheath, where would he have had it downstairs to where he would have actually taken it upstairs, or would he have been upstairs?
Well, let's say he has a hoodie with like a pocket in it or something, or whatever, or somewhere where he has a pocket, and he probably had it sitting in there because it wasn't around his belt, obviously, because unless he had it in the front part of the belt, but if it was past the first loop, it wouldn't have came off likely. So the thing is it's likely he didn't have it on his belt, I would say, unless like people say if he did a sexual assault attempt and he undid his belt buckle, it may have fallen off at that point. And again, then that would mean he could have killed the people downstairs first, and then only on the second floor when he was trying a sexual assault, pulling his belt off, it fell off, but then things went really wrong. I mean, what if he was in there assaulting Madison, and that's when Kaylee ran in to try to help out a little bit, and then she got attacked too, and they were both left dead on there, but that at that point he wasn't going to sexually assault anybody at that point, and he goes downstairs.
But where would he have been? Sheath. So if he's downstairs, sheath, because obviously he must have.
Well, he would have it on in that scenario I just gave you. He'd have the knife on his belt, the sheath. And then he killed Zena and Ethan. Then he goes upstairs, and then the sheath falls off if he took his belt off. you know, because he was going to sexually assault somebody. Then it fell onto the bed, and he didn't realize that that happened.
That makes me understand a little bit more.
Well, that's if that happened. I mean, I have no way of knowing. I don't even think that that is what happened. I just think it's possible, you know, that he, you know, so if he didn't have it on his belt, which seems more likely, given that it fell off, and they said that there's no sexual assault that happened, so that means he would have had the knife in the sheath, maybe in a pocket or something. So then the first attack could have happened, and then maybe the second one happened a little differently, and the sheath just sort of fell out, or vice versa. I don't know what the order is, but the sheath doesn't indicate to me, with the knowledge that we have of it, that it was made Kaylee and Madison first. It doesn't indicate that. With the information we have, they might have extra information that if there's no blood droplets of any kind from Zena or Ethan on the sheath itself, then maybe, you know, they could look at that and go, well, there was so much blood, there has to be some sort of a drop on there, so he must not have attacked them first and he went upstairs. But they can also look at the blood trail in the house. If there's any blood at all from Zena and Ethan upstairs, then that means that they were attacked before Kaylee and Madison, right? That's what that would mean. And if there's any blood from, I guess what then you would say, if there's no blood from Madison and Kaylee in Zena's room, then likely that Zena and Ethan were killed first. So it's like that. Yeah, I don't know if that was too long-winded for you, but
oh no.
What do you think?
No, I just wondered if he took it out of his, like if he had the sheath in the left hand, right hand, if he's right-handed, left-handed, vice versa, attacked the two downstairs. Obviously, there would be, and then took him. He's not going to put it back in the upstairs, take it out again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then leave it on the bed. So I guess we just have to wait to see what kind of evidence more than just
could have
the
just
DNA
fallen
is on
out.
the
Like,
sheet.
let's say he had a hoodie with one of those pockets in the front, you know, and he's got it in there, and he pulls the knife out and he attacks, and it's just kind of not really in there very good. And then he gets another attack, and it just he's got the knife in his hand, the sheath's by itself in the pocket, and it just falls out. I mean, I could just see a million different ways that the sheath could be anywhere at any time, you know.
Gotcha.
So.
I'm just curious. I'm just trying to. My kids tell me I need to stay off the internet for a while because this is driving me nuts.
Don't worry about it. You know, just don't like get stuck on something, because especially things that you can't have the answer for. Those are the things that people spend too much time on, where you just go, well, I don't have the answer, but I'm going to keep trying to figure out, but there's no information that allows you to get that information. So that's where the problem
Hopefully they'll everything that, you know, will come out. Do you think anything will be leaked before the June hearing, or they pretty silent like they've been doing, you know, obviously when it first happened?
Well, I think there's going to be little leaks here and there, but I mean, it's going to be a long time before there's any more official stuff released, I think.
Yeah, so I guess we just all have to sit and wait.
Yep, or follow other cases
Obviously,
in the meantime.
my dogs are
yeah. Okay.
Oh, no, I was watching. I've been watching several of yours, so thank you very much. I appreciate your channel, and thanks for taking my call.
Well, thanks for calling in. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Okay, have a good night.
You too, bye. So somebody up above named Liz commented. Hold on. Oh, thank you, Trish Escaped and Piney Palace. And down below, oh yeah, so where was that Liz comment? Yeah, they always say, why isn't anybody talking about? Let me go find this. Hold on. I gotta find it. Yeah, Why is nobody talking about the fact that Jack in the Box is only open until 10 p.m.? That bag on the counter had to be from another time. Well, that just shows you, Liz, Ann, that you never watch this show whatsoever, but that's okay. Yeah, the other night I called the Jack in the Box up, the very one that's in Pullman, Washington, and I asked, hey, what are your hours there? And he goes, I don't really, and I told him what the internet said, and on Saturday and Sunday it was not 10 o'clock like you set up above. That's totally bogus. But he also said, he goes, I don't really care what the internet says. We close every night at 4 a.m. for cleaning for an hour. And that's it. So for 1 hour, it's closed at 4 until 5. So that means it's very easily, the driver could have picked up a DoorDash from Jack in the Box at like 3:45, 3:50, driven all the way over to Moscow, Idaho, which is only 10 or 11 minutes, 12-minute drive, then dropped it off at the door. Okay, then a minute ago, let's see what we got from Inspiring Sobriety. Said, I'm a DoorDash driver. Since pandemic, the DoorDash system defaults to no contact. We take a picture of the food at the door. Everything is timed to the second. Law enforcement knows every move the dasher made. Well, that's very good. Very informative there. That's what I was wondering the other day is if you just drop it off there, you must send a text message or something to the person who's supposed to get it, and maybe that's what that is right there, an image that says, hey, we dropped it off. It's interesting that they didn't give us the exact time on that, though. I want to know that. But me wanting to know doesn't give me the right to know. Even if I was going to steal chicken McNuggets from a McDonald's drive-thru, I would drive my own car, carry my phone. Oh, wait, so you're a conspiracy nutter? Jesus, get out of here. Wait, did you see the girl with the brown hair? They're always at these crime scenes. They're not real. They're all actors. They are, what do you call them? The crisis actors that they bring to the scene. No. Well, Liz, go watch them then, okay? All right, have a good one. All right, let's see. What do we got here? It's all fakey. Yeah, it's all fake, yeah. No answer because hearing the dog upstairs, the Sheath K attack, where's that? All right, so if you didn't hear my theory earlier, I'll do it again really quick. So this is the, the most common likely theory is the killer came through the sliding glass door, killed Zana and Ethan on the way down. I mean, not Zana and Ethan, killed Madison and Kaylee upstairs, then comes down and attacks Zana and Ethan down in this area, and then on the way out, Dylan Mortensen sees him through the door, the little open door there, and then he heads out the sliding glass door in the kitchen. What are you talking about, Marlon? Your bias is showing, LOL. Listen, are there any morons in here that think that Bryan Kohberger is somehow innocent and was set up for this whole thing? Okay, do you guys really think that? Are you that stupid? Okay. All right. Okay, good. Glad you're not. All right, so I'll just start over again. I'm going to go back down here like this. And so here is the front door right there. So Zana grabs her DoorDash, shuts the door, comes up the stairs right here. Then, as I was showing earlier, walks around the corner here into the kitchen maybe to get some plates. And maybe this was actually around 4:05 or 6 or something. But right around that time is when Bryan Kohberger is parking his car behind the house in that little driveway up there. And sees that the light goes on in the kitchen. So he's not coming in yet. And then he waits another, let's say, 6 or 7 minutes or so. When the lights turn off. Then Zana and Ethan are in here. Maybe they had some of the food or whatever. We don't really know. But let's say when he comes in, he's just about heading up the stairs as Ethan and Zena are leaving, because remember, Zena walked him out according to the email that I got. So let's say Zena's walking him out. She's in front and says, hey, somebody's here. Sees the person go up the stairs. Then that person turns around, comes at them, and they kind of freak out and they back up and they go towards the room. And then he attacks both of them, and he thinks he killed both Ethan and Zena at the same time. Then he leaves from there, and then he goes up the stairs, which is right here. So here we go. After he kills both of them, or he thinks he kills both of them, he goes up the stairs like this. And then up here he notices that, oh, wait, Kaylee's not in his room, because he was watching likely from the parking area out there. And then he goes this direction. And he sees that Kaylee and Madison are sleeping on the bed, and he kills both of them, and leaving the sheath on the right side of Madison, which would mean Madison's right side was not in contact or in the direction of Kaylee, or they would have said the sheath was between them. So he kills both of them. Then he goes down the stairs, the killer does, and then he hears right now Zena is still alive, making sounds. So then he goes to the room over there. So to get there, I have to go back in time. Go back over here. So this is him. The stairs are right there to the left. He goes down to Zena's room, and she's on the bed right here. And she's crying and making sounds. And then the killer says, "It's okay. I'm going to help you." And she sort of struggles up a little bit, and then he stabs her and then throws her to the ground. And that's the thud that you hear outside, the dog barking, the thud, the whining. Then after he finishes her off, he takes off, goes this direction, right here he takes a right, and if you look out this camera right here, that goes into the kitchen, out the sliding glass door. That's the theory, trying to put in all the information that's on the probable cause document. Because I don't think that the killer, it's not going to be Ethan that says, "It's okay, I'm going to help you," because he would have already been attacked right then. Nobody would say that amongst being viciously attacked with a K-bar knife over and over and over again. Nobody's going to say that. So that is the killer saying that. So when would he have had time to say that? And guess what? He wouldn't have said that on the initial attack, because he's attacking two different people that are absolutely awake and paying attention. He wouldn't say, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." He might say that, though, if somebody's barely alive and he comes down from upstairs and hears that and goes into that room. So that's just the logic that I'm using. Might be completely wrong. I admit that. I understand. All right. 765, you're on.
Hey, Gray.
Hello, who's this?
Let me mute this. Ed.
Hello, Ed. What's going on?
Hey, I just started watching your show a couple of weeks ago when all this Idaho stuff happened. I think your theory's pretty correct, except I think when Zena said somebody's here, I think she was sending Ethan out to go check, and that's when he got caught. But something that's been bothering me, and I know it's already pretty much figured out by now, but when all these people are saying, "Oh, they dismissed so-and-so too early, they dismissed so-and-so too early," they could, if they had the killer's blood or DNA, they could blood type whoever they think, like whatever, the hoodie guy or whatever, they could blood type them almost instantly at the police station and dismiss them instantly.
Yeah, but what's bothering you about it? Like, I don't really know what's bothering you.
No, just not about anything you've said. I'm talking about the whatever.
No,
the
I know.
People in the
I know.
chat that are like, "Oh, yeah."
But what are you referring to? Like, blood type who? Like, what do you mean? You mean the victims?
Whoever they're interviewing, the hoodie guy or the bartender or whatever, they could go, "Well, let us have your blood type," and they could dismiss them as a.
Oh yeah. I mean, you mean early on? You're talking about, or?
Yeah, correct. Yeah. I meant early on. That's just too easy to dismiss somebody with their blood type.
Yeah, well, they might not have had his blood type, though. They just found that one touch DNA sample on the button that we're aware of. There could be
that we're aware of
much more information that was gathered on his genetic material. I mean, maybe he washed his hands or something. There's been out there as a rumor in the sink.
Right.
I'm not sure when that would have been, but
or they could have his blood and they just haven't told us.
Mm-hmm. Like, well, the probable cause just put enough information that was he's probable to be the killer.
Correct.
So there you go. So,
I mean, they could have his blood under somebody's fingernails and have his blood type.
Mm-hmm. Right. So they could have a ton of more information. They just didn't want to reveal the even more damning information because they just might be the same in the Delphi case where they only gave, in the probable cause, enough information for a judge to sign it, but there's a lot more information that will come out later. Something like
Absolutely.
that. Yeah.
Absolutely. But just for like future reference for the people who are watching, they can blood type you in minutes and dismiss you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
It just seemed like there was a whole lot of people, and the media included, the whatever traditional media, like, oh, how can they dismiss so and so easily? And it's like, really not that hard to blood type somebody.
Right.
That's just one way. You know, he could have been smoking weed with his buddies in a room somewhere, and there's 5 of them in there, and it's like, well, there's his alibi.
Yeah, except they already know that he got there at 4:04, and he. Oh, you mean another time, like he?
Yeah, I meant anybody else. You know, there was a million suspects.
I wonder. You know, wouldn't it be interesting if this guy's? I mean, here's something that, like, I don't think it's likely, but what if he's so much more You know, it would be crazy if he was way smarter than everybody thinks, and he knows something about, you know, like, remember when he first said, "Did you arrest anybody else?"
Right.
You know, it makes you wonder if he has some sort of a plan, but I just doubt it. He just too many weird mistakes with his cell phone and shit like that.
Yeah, he definitely has a plan, but he might be the smartest person that's ever lived, but he's not smarter than 20 people. He's not smarter than, you know, whatever, 100 FBI agents or however they had assigned to this case, with whatever, 5, 10, 20 years experience. It doesn't matter how good your plan is. You're not smarter than a room full of people.
Right.
But I do love your show, and I would think your breakdown on the Delphi case was pretty spot on.
Yeah, and the thing is, I wish it's been a while since I covered it, so some of the little details don't pop into my head. But I mean, that's why I want to maybe start talking about that again, just to get it back where it's fresh in your mind.
I actually live not too far from there, and I never knew about that bridge, and I think that's why the state police were so insistent on it had to have been a local person, because I lived within an hour of it, and I'd been to Delphi I don't know how many times, and I never knew there was a walking path over a bridge, because I'd have gone to it. I like hiking and stuff, but that's why they were so insistent on that. It had to have been a local person. Yeah,
well, I always thought it was somebody maybe within 15 miles or something, but he was right there in town, and it just sounded... The sad part about the case is this guy should have been arrested, or definitely the case should have been over in 2 weeks, for sure.
Or at least 2 months like this one.
Well, I mean, no, they should have already... Well, I mean, I would say 2... Well, here's the thing. Whatever the date was that Richard Allen went to the conservation officer and said, oh, yeah, I was there that day. I had the same clothes and everything. He should have been arrested probably within, like, a week after that. Because they arrested him 2 weeks after they got the warrant to go to do the search warrant at his house. So think about how much more they would have had back then. I mean, they just... That's what I think.
And I wonder if I've been hearing rumors that they matched him to his pet's DNA. Like his cat or his dog or whatever. I don't know if that's true, but...
Yeah, I don't know if that's true either. we've heard that there were fibers and hairs collected,
Right.
so
But
maybe it's the pet, you know.
Yeah, your breakdowns on like as far as like buildings and maps and stuff like that is excellent. I think they ought to use that in more cases.
Thank you.
You've done more true crime than I have. Do they actually DNA pets? Like they dig up your dead cat or whatever? And
We can get DNA from a hair too, but
well, yeah,
we
but I
could.
mean,
yeah, why
they
not? We
have
can get a
used that
sequence for
before?
sure. Yeah, I think they've done it before in cases.
okay. I just wasn't familiar with the case they'd done it with.
I don't remember, but I've heard them say. I think even Colleen said something like that. Dr. Colleen Fitzpatrick. I don't remember
Right.
exactly, but there you go.
And I really liked your guest the other day, the lady from Alabama. I can't remember her name, but
Sarah
really
Kalin. Yeah, she's awesome.
correct. Yeah.
And then tonight I'm
Yeah.
going to have Mike King from Profiling Evil. That's his channel. He's going to come on. He's a ex-police officer and profiler, and he's going to, come in and say what he thinks on this.
Are you saying king like king and queen,
Yeah.
or king like neat? Okay.
King. Yeah, King.
Okay.
Queen and King. Yeah, right.
Okay.
All right. Well, I
All right.
appreciate
Thank
you calling in.
You do a good job, Gray.
Hey, thanks a lot, man. Have a good one. Bye.
Hey, thanks. Bye.
So what was the problem up there with Mav? What's going on with Mav up there? How do you explain the roommate saying her roommate was unconscious? She didn't check the roommate. Never took a pulse. But Mav, you're pretending that you know who said what to anybody. You have no idea what's going on. That's the problem. See, you're getting really incredulous. You're one of the people that would probably say, this just doesn't add up all the time. Okay? This just doesn't add up. But guess what it says in the updates that the police gave us? That when the police got there, they were alerted to an unconscious person, and the unconscious person was on the second floor. Okay? And I think it was in the information that I shared with you guys in the email that mentioned the bushy eyebrows a long time ago. It said that they saw when the friends came over, they're the ones that saw somebody that looked like they were passed out. They saw the blood and everything, but they just told them, hey, it looks like somebody's passed out. They didn't know if the person fell and hit their head. They didn't see the knife wounds. Doesn't that make sense to people? Why is that hard? You know? It's just really weird. I don't know why it's hard for people just to hear something that makes sense and just go, you know what, that's plausible. I don't care about that anymore. Because guess what you're doing? When you're wondering about that, that means you are skeptical about the innocence of one of the surviving roommates. That is why you're asking that question. Again. Because it doesn't matter anymore. Focus in on Kohberger and the things that he did. Yeah. I don't know what they were complaining about, though. I didn't say anything. Hey, thanks. The Mighty Experience. Let's see. Once they came over. Yeah, that's exactly what it's in the thing that I've read to you guys. I mean, let me do it again. But how do you know that's true? Well, here's the deal. The fact that they mentioned to me the bushy eyebrows, and that was a prominent thing in the affidavit, I got that information on the 22nd of November. It makes almost all of the rest of it way more interesting. Here, let me just find that part. Okay, whoever found Ethan did see blood, but they thought maybe he had fallen, tripped, etc., and hit his head or something. They didn't know he had been stabbed yet. Doesn't that just make sense to people? I'm just trying to picture it. Everything makes sense to me now that we've been given in the updates here. That Dylan, and that being said, I have no way of proving everything that's in here. I'm just giving it credibility because of the bushy eyebrows being a real thing that really happened, and therefore you have to give more weight to the rest of the things that were said in this document. Okay, so if it all turns out that it's completely bogus, and there's some other reason that maybe one of the surviving roommates passed out, you hear that theory all the time. I don't know. I'm just telling you this, okay? Because it's in this document. So think about what I just told you, and then go back to what Dylan said that I read to you earlier, how Dylan was petrified. She heard sounds, and then she thought maybe something, and then she waited for somebody to make some sort of a sound, basically to reassure herself. And then in the morning, I mean, who knows? Maybe she had to go, where do you go to the bathroom, for example? United Drinking, you probably have to go to the bathroom in the morning. But she's still so scared in there, and then she just had to get out of the room. Remember, it said that it was getting late. She had to get out of there. So then she started messaging friends saying, it was really crazy last night. Can you guys just come over? Didn't want to get the police involved or anything at that point because doesn't know. She did see somebody with bushy eyebrows, but, people come and go inside the house all the time. And then these people come over to the house. She gives them the code to come into the house. They go up to the second floor, and then they find Dylan, apparently. And when they find Dylan, there's blood there, but they don't know what's going on. They probably don't want to touch him and do anything, but they just say, hey, we've got an unconscious person here, not willing to say, somebody's dead here, something like that. The thing is just because people don't do what you want them to do doesn't mean that it isn't something that happened, okay? What it really is virtue signaling. People want you to know that they, if they were in the same situation, would have reacted so much better than everybody else. And that is the truth, everybody. Sorry. Yeah. Hey, thank you, Jones. Well, I don't have any more callers here. Nobody really wanted to call in and talk about the special. I mean, the special, I thought it was pretty well done. Went through all of the family members, interviewed the parents, kind of went through the investigation. They did bring up forensic genetic genealogy again. So I wasn't really sure about that, why they did that, but 540, you're on.
Hey, Gray, how you doing?
Pretty good. Who's this?
Denise. I had one question. It's not pertaining to the Dateline show or anything like that because I've recorded it. I DVR'd it. I haven't watched it yet. But when I've listened to you, which I listen to every night, and, lots of these other channels, they keep mentioning how it was dark in the house. And I'm wondering from you, was that in the probable cause affidavit, or are people assuming that? Because I'm assuming, like, a house like that, they would leave living room lamps on, because people are all saying, like, well, did Dylan see this knife shining? I get sick of hearing what people think about Dylan because it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But how do we know?
No, we don't really know. I mean, I assume that there's a little bit of lights here and there, ambient lights, little, maybe a little
like
lamp here and there. I don't think it was pitch black. I just think it's kind of dark in there, and then maybe in Dylan's room it was dark. So when the door was open a little bit, looking at this person, he was probably hyper focused to get out of there. I mean, people want to know an answer to something that there's not a chance in the world to actually get a real answer and know it. Like, even if he said, I don't know, I just didn't see her, you go, oh, you did too, man. You know, it's like there's no way
for real.
to really know, right?
All right. Well, I've just heard everybody saying, I mean, every channel I've listened to talks about how it was dark in the house, and I'm like, if anybody would know, Gray would know, because I watched, you know, the day the probable cause affidavit came out. I watched all of that and listened to all of that, and I was thinking, does it say that in the affidavit, or is just every channel assuming that it was like just completely dark in the house? So that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah.
But thank you. I love your channel.
Well, thank you. Thanks for calling in. Appreciate it.
All right. Have a good night.
You too. Bye. Hey, Mav, I'm going to block you from the channel, but hey, it was nice having you here, right? What an idiot. Jesus. I was just accused of victim blaming because I'm saying that Bryan Kohberger is the killer. Okay? I'm victim blaming everybody. He's a victim too now, apparently. Whew. Wow. Good luck. And yes, I don't know why you asked that, Joey. That's why in the title up there it says, I watched the whole 2-hour special. I guess what I should have done was take notes down and jot them down to tell everybody, oh, okay, it went like this, and this, and this. I was just watching it. I thought it was interesting, well done. I mean, the different photographs, and they talked to, I mean, C.C. Moore was even on there talking about forensic genetic genealogy. Because they made it seem like they found it was genetic genealogy, but it was out of the trash. But that isn't what they did out of the trash. They merely compared the DNA sample from the sheath to the sample they got out of the garbage can, and it turns out that it was that it's very, very, very likely, 99.99998% chance of being the father of the DNA source from the sheath. That's what it was. It wasn't forensic genetic genealogy on that part. But I do think it's interesting, that article we read the other day, how, you know, how did they come up with him out of all the people they were looking at with the white Elantras? What made them start focusing in on him particularly? Just the ping information, like where his phone was on various nights, or what? He's driving around. I guess if you see that his car is moving around at 2:30 on the night of the murders, he would immediately pop out, or 2:50 even. Did you watch it, Joey? I don't know if it was like a ton of new stuff in there. Did you guys learn new? I just think they put it together well, and pretty much it was pretty comprehensive overview of the case. That's what I thought. What did you guys think? Yeah, they did bring up that once they got a picture of Bryan Kohberger, they saw that he had bushy eyebrows, and so that helped them. Do you guys remember the precise time? Okay, call in real quick. I got to get off of here in a little bit too, because I got another show at 7 o'clock tonight. So. I can't remember what I was just about to say. Yeah, oops. Well, that's what I think, Miranda. I think genetic genealogy might have led to them like really narrowing down who they were looking at dramatically. And then they see that his phone was on at 2:50 in the morning on that day. And then it's also on the back roads at 4 something. Well, we don't know that for sure, Miranda. ABC said that. Perhaps. I know they brought it up in there, but we don't know for certain because the affidavit did not say that at all. Yeah, you keep typing in the same thing over and over again. Originally that's what we thought. I mean, when the case first started, I say, wouldn't that be cool if that's what they used? Forensic genetic genealogy to quickly identify this killer. And then it turned out, wow, the news was reporting that that's what they used. But then it seemed to fade away once they put the probable cause document out. Hello.
Hi. Hey, did my thing come up 8675009? Did it call in user?
It says call in user.
What the heck?
I just knew it was you this time, so I got it.
I really don't know how to fix it. I'll try to look into it. Did anyone call to ask about? I had to step out of the house for a minute. Did anyone call in to talk about the 2020 special?
No.
No. Okay,
Yeah.
then I'll say what I was going to say.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
Wait, I have a question though. Did they talk about building out trees on the 2021? Because I watched both the Dateline and the 2021.
They did bring up forensic genetic genealogy in it. I didn't catch how they led into that part, but
they did. You don't remember if they said anything about building out the trees?
I thought they said something like it comes up with these huge trees. I just don't remember now, to be honest with you.
Okay, one of them said that, and I was thinking, wait a minute, didn't they say that wasn't what they used? You know what I mean? So then that made me wonder if maybe they had started putting it together a long time before they aired it. Not a long time, but
yeah,
quite a bit before they aired it.
We could tell because there was a couple other things that were updated since then. So you could see that some of it was older material that they were working with.
Yeah, totally. So what I will say is that I watched both the Dateline one and the 2020 special. The Dateline one was not very good at all. It was just Keith Morrison basically just trying to tell a bedtime story with just a bunch of news clips mixed in. Didn't really have much heart to it, you know. The Dateline one or the 2021 I thought was really good because it really gave a lot more
about the victim
humanity towards the victim. You know, it made them they're already human, but it made them really human. I'm not gonna lie, I actually cried when I was watching it because at the end when the dad was talking, you know.
Well, yeah, well, that's what I was saying. Well, I don't know if you saw the beginning, but I said the person that made me feel the most was Madison's father, who I think that's his only kid, and he's just absolutely. I mean, you could just tell how much he loved her, thought she was the greatest thing in the world, probably so proud, just wow, I produced this incredible person, and now I don't know if he has anything. I mean, does he have a wife, or you don't see him with a wife or anything.
I think
I don't know.
There wasn't that, but wasn't there? Okay, so JTR or JTL or somebody, whatever that guy's name is.
Yeah.
One of those people brought up that one of the mothers had been, she was in jail for something, or she had been arrested for something. They brought up some old arrest record. I want to say that might have been Maddie's mom, but I'm not positive on that, so don't quote me on that.
I think it was Zana. It was Zana's mom.
Oh, it was Zana. Okay. So what I was thinking was maybe because Madison's family they weren't talking a lot, and I remember that Steve Gonzalez had said that he was speaking for their family because they were so close, and that family they were so broken that they couldn't really talk. And I felt like maybe the mom wasn't on there because the dad was, you could tell he was really broken. It was just heartbreaking. So I wonder if it was a little too much for the mom, and maybe that's just projecting, but I got the impression that there was a mother and father that were,
Yeah.
you know, a unit.
But what a
but
nightmare. Yeah,
it really made them the victims so human. And also, when one part that really stuck out to me was when, and this is just so random, when the barber lady that was Brian.
Yeah, she played
barber,
the audio of
remember
him.
that?
Yeah, played the audio.
I hadn't heard his whole, like, what his speaking voice sounded like saying a full sentence. You know what I mean? Other than when they were in the car. So that was interesting to hear. And also, like, can you imagine? She said, like, the last time that she had cut his hair was, like, I think December 10th or something. That would be, he'd already committed the murder by then. Like, can you even imagine what that would be like? You touch this guy's body, like his hair and stuff. And then you find out that he is this horrific murderer that, I mean, you know, innocent until proven guilty, but come on, the guy did it. I just thought it was really interesting. I liked that, it seemed like they were, on the 2020 special, it seemed like they talked more about the victims than they did about Bryan. Like, or they gave it at, like, equal time.
Yeah, there was like two parts. So the first part was more about the kids, and then the second half was, you know, about Bryan, you know, the arrest and the investigation. Yeah.
But then they also talked about the kids in the second part too. You know what I mean?
Well, some,
I just think, I thought it was really nice that, not nice, but I thought it was,
it was well done.
I thought it was
compared.
Great.
Yeah.
I thought it was great that they didn't just focus on this guy and, like, talking about all these bad, you know, about him, you know, because I just don't think that he deserves to get that much.
I think I was kind of like affected when he was. Remember that part where he was singing, where Ethan was singing with his friend?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And they were just like, and they're just so into it. You know, you could just totally remember stuff like that. You know. And
yeah,
it's just,
at the beginning,
God,
and
crazy.
when one thing that we didn't know about, or maybe, I mean, I had never heard it. Maybe you had heard it, but that Ethan had gone to the like sorority event or ball, I think it was called Betty's Ball or something like that, with his sister as her date, you know? Like, you got an understanding of how earlier that night that they had been murdered. Like, he had gone to an event with his sister, and then he met up with Zana at the, or Zana at the house party or the frat party, you know? But I didn't know that he had gone out with his sister earlier in the night. And I guess, you know, it's not really that important, except for me, I was like, man, this sounds like such a great kid. Like, he's super close to his, I mean, they're triplets and everything, but it's just, I thought it really gave them so much more depth than, I mean, I really didn't know a lot about Ethan at all. And you're right, like, seeing him singing and hearing from his friends, and I thought it was so much better.
Well, somebody just sent me a picture of, I think it's, I mean, Madison, oh God, Madison's mom right here. She looks like, she doesn't even look more older than she is. I mean, that's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I mean, if that's her mom, it says image credit Karen. Is that her mom right there? Everybody? I mean, I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but I think that's, I don't know what we're looking at here, but I mean, if that's her mom.
Oh, wow.
So I guess so. So maybe, I mean, yeah, that's what's crazy. The one on the right is the mom, and then Madison's in the front. That's why. That's crazy.
This has to be pretty old, because the dad has, like, pretty gray hair on the special.
Yeah, but it can't be really old. Maybe 5 years. I mean, look at Madison. It looks somewhat recent. You know, like maybe when she was 16 or 17, right? I would think.
I think Madison's the one in the back in the pink sweater.
This one over here? Who's this right here?
The one in the back?
You think Madison's
that
this?
one's Madison.
No, I think the one in the front's Madison. I don't know, man. Who's the one that's Madison?
I think the one in the back is Madison. The one in the brown shirt in the front, I think, is her mom.
Really?
And then that's her dad on the other side. Yeah, I think that this is, Madison's probably like 11 or 12 or 13 or something in that picture. Maybe 11. But that dad, his hair was not that brown in the
I don't know, because look at this right here. Watch this. Oh wait, that's Madison, right?
Yeah,
And this is the mom, but no, this is the same mom that we were just looking at, right here. That's the person.
Yeah,
right
she
there.
looks.
No, but no, and the one on the right here is Madison, right? This one over here is on the previous picture, the same one that you were thinking. Because if you go up here, that's this person, and Madison's right here in the front.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's exactly what you showed. I might be delayed a little bit.
Okay, well, in the first picture I showed you, the lady in the front with the brown sweater is Madison. The one in the back.
No way.
Well, it is, because that matches what I just showed you. The one on the right is the one with the different color hair that was holding up that sign. So, that's
Wait, no. The lady in the brown you think is Madison?
yeah, this is Madison, and this is the mom, apparently, right? Then if you scroll down here, I don't know. And then down here, look at this picture. Watch. In this picture, this person is the same one that I think is the mom, and then this is Madison right here. See, this lady here has the same exact face as the one. Am I getting this wrong?
They have the same.
On here, you guys?
I think the one with the sweater that's holding the sunflower picture, like the cable knit sweater, I think that's Madison's mom, and I think that's the same lady as the lady in the brown sweater. And I think Maddie in the picture with the sunflower is the one without sleeves, and is in the first picture the one with the pink sweater behind.
So you think that this lady, this is Madison back here? I mean, this is just.
Yeah, I think that's.
But this person here, it's so weird because they reversed the way they looked. Because this one right here. Well, no, but just hold on a second. The one on the right here with the fuchsia and black sweater looks exactly like the person in the other photo that's on the left holding up the sign. And this looks exactly like Madison looked.
I think the lady in the back, the girl in the back with the purple and pink, or the purple and black sweater, if you look at her face, she looks so much younger than the person in the front. So I think that the brown is the mom and the pink is Madison. And mom just has extremely dominant genes.
Well, I don't know, man. People are saying that I'm correct here, but we'll have to see. But I mean, when you look at this picture in the front, doesn't that just look exactly like Madison? The one in this girl? I mean, Madison looks like that. And then the dad might have just been like 2 or 3 years ago. And if you scroll down to here, let's just look at this one again. See, here's what I would say. If you took like this picture right here, let me just do the way I'll do it here, just to figure this out. And if you go up here, and then I go, hold on. Let me just do it the way I'm going to do it. Then you'll see what I'm saying. Right here. And so these ones right here in this shot are who I think are the same. And then if I was going to do the other two, the one I think is Matt. God dang it. God. Just a second. This is Madison. Okay, then I'm going to go down to the other image here and grab this one. And I'm going to put this with her. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. That these two are Madison and these two are the mom. You see what I'm saying?
Can you switch them now and look at them?
Switch what?
Switch what you think. Do it the way that I think it is.
Oh, okay. Well, how about if I take these ones right here and put them with the other one, then we can all see them all at the same time.
No, can you do it the same way that you did it on this one?
It froze up trying to do it.
Oh, okay.
But no, I mean, the thing is, what I was going to do is, what happened? Oh, here we go. Let me just try to do it. Okay, so, but the way I did it's the only way what way are you trying to get me to do it? She's not a troll. Somebody just said she's not a troll. We're just trying to figure something out. I didn't know either, because the girl does look younger than the one in the middle, right? I mean, it's crazy. The mom, if that is the mom, she looks like she's about 18, and they look like they're the same age kind of. One just has makeup on. Yeah, so
I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna do a little hunting because I really think that the girl in the pink and the black is Kaylee. Her face is so much younger, and Dad is much younger.
So here would be like the opposite of what you're. I mean, I took a picture from either one of them. This is the one with the mom or whoever this is to, like this is Madison and that's the mom, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't really matter to me. It's just, how about this? Either way, they both look really young, right?
Yeah. Will you put the girl in the fuchsia next to the girl without the sleeve, please? I'm not saying I'm totally right. I'm curious. I would like. I
mean the one without the sleeve?
Well.
Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, right here, these ones.
Yeah.
But people are saying they look very similar to each other. I'm just going by the hair color and just sort of her nose size. Her nose is a little different.
Well, clearly Madison dyes her hair as an older girl. She's made it blonder. Look at her roots.
Mm-hmm. But did the mom ever make hers blonde?
Most likely.
Yeah.
I mean, look at her roots. Same thing. The mom has dark roots.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's the other one. But I was just really wanting to show it. But yeah, how about you go around and you sleuth it out, see what you can find. But it's weird to see this because, because when you look at this one, you know that this is Madison right here because that's like mother-daughter T 2019. And you look at her, that's why, like in that one, her hair is similar to the other one.
Yeah, well, she's aged.
It's not, well,
and you can, the eyebrows are thicker, you can pluck your eyebrows. So what do I win if I'm right?
You get I'm not sure. I'll give you a hoodie if you're right. That's how confident I am. How do you like that?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm very competitive. I'm going to get started on this right now.
Oh,
Bye, guys.
Well, what else? No, but what about the 2020?
I think that now I'm fixated on this. I think
I know. It's like I'm in the same way when there's something like, oh my God, what do I do?
Yeah. I think that 2020 did a great job of telling the story by using other and building the characters. You know what I mean? And talking about the victims a lot better than Dateline did. Dateline was just like reading an event timeline, basically. I think 2020 was able to give more depth and personality to all of the people, even Bryan Kohberger to an extent, you know. I thought it was really good, except for the part where they talked about forensic genealogy, because we know that they should have talked more about, you know, what they actually did to find the killer.
Okay.
I think that part is pretty fascinating.
Well, here you go.
Okay.
So look on the screen right now. I went to the Facebook page. That's the mom.
So
and there's
next to each other?
Yeah, this is the mom, and that's her. And then if you go to, well, I guess let's see if we can. Maybe I can find that exact picture because that's where they got it from. Let's see.
Hang on a second. But if you put that picture that you just showed on the screen next
to
the one.
This is the same one. Let's just look at this one really quick. I mean, it's not the same exact photo. It's the same day, though, right?
Look how much younger. No, show the other one.
Well, this is 2017, so that's why she looks younger, and she looks younger, but you can see that they're hugging like father and...
Maybe you're right.
Yeah, so they're...
Maybe you're absolutely right. I don't know. I'm going to look around. Now that, you know, my screen, this picture is a lot bigger than the other one.
Yeah.
That you showed.
Well, you can see, now it'll be more clear. Look at this one. That's the same one. Now you can see the details. You can tell that she's older on the right, with the wrinkles under the eye.
I still think the woman in the back looks older than the woman in the front, but that just
well, no, but that's true. No, that's what I say. I'm saying the one in the purple here is the mom, and the one in the front is Madison.
Man, your chat is jerks. Full of jerks today.
Well, no, they're just they're just like no, yeah. Listen, you guys, this isn't Earth. This isn't even important shit. We're just doing what we do. We do this sometimes when we're just talking on the phone about something. Don't worry about it, you guys.
Man, no wonder people don't want to call in. These people are jerks.
Yeah, they are. I get it. Yeah, but when you look at this one right here, though.
You are mean.
Me? What did I do wrong?
You should control the chat there, jerk.
Well, I can't control them because I'm looking at the screen and I'm talking.
I know. I'm joking.
Yes, everybody. She's calling in. This picture here, the one before was a little bit fuzzier, where it smoothed things out. Like if you look at this right here, you can see that that's the mom, and she looks older than the one in the front, right? But the other one, it doesn't look like that. It's the same picture, but it's smoothed out, so it looks younger. So that's why.
I mean, it's really hard to tell. It really is. But your chat is a bunch of jerks.
Oh, come on. Well, you can go. How about, let's get back in there and just start blocking. Boom, boom, boom. Not blocking, but deleting, delete.
Once the stream ends, I'm going to go back when the live chat comes on. Y'all are blocked, all of you.
You can do like, Gnip. Hey, no, but me and 8675309 or Jenny, whatever you want to call her and I, we've gotten in the same kind of things when we're trying to figure something out just on phone calls.
Oh, this is nothing. Like
this is
argument.
nothing. This doesn't even mean anything. We're just kind of goofing around trying to. I mean, what it does show is that, man, her parents were probably really young when they had her, and the mom and her look really similar, and the mom is, probably pretty young herself.
Really?
I would imagine probably like 35 or 36 or something.
These people have good genes, really good genes.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, this picture is a lot clearer, but
yeah.
I mean, you and I both agree the girl in the pink and black looks younger than the girl in the front.
On the first picture, they look the same age, but this one they don't because the wrinkles under the eyes and things, and the
Wait
forehead.
a minute, I'm on the. This is too confusing.
Well,
Anyway,
the one I have on the screen is the same image that was in that article, but you couldn't really see the wrinkles and so forth under the eyes and the forehead on the mom, so they look very similar in age, but now they don't quite look as similar, but she still looks pretty young, right? So.
And the dad looks way younger than he does on the 2020 special too. I don't know. It doesn't matter, actually. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. But what does matter is your chat or jerk.
No, but somebody, the person in there that says Jenny867, she goes, he's confusing us again, LOL. No, I'm not, because the person here, her name is Jenny. Her name, the one that I'm talking to right now on the phone, her name is Jenny, but has 8675309 as a username. So I'm not confusing you two. I know now that they're different.
I'm going to change my name to, like you said, like you suggested, change my screen name to Yama so that you can say, hey, Yama.
Yeah, I think that's better. Yeah, just Yama. YAMMA maybe? You think there's two M's in that?
Yeah, I think that's that.
And I can say, hey, Yama. And then right after that, every time I go.
Hey, Yama, hey, Yama.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that'd be
That
awesome.
is the best.
Yeah.
That's the best. You know, I was going to say yesterday on Scientific Skeptics panel that I forgot to say. So once I jumped down, I thought of what I was going to say. Do you want to know?
What is it?
I was going to say gray, for people that think that gray doesn't allow for people to have opposing viewpoints as his, they should know that that's exactly why you modded me like, a couple years ago, like 3 or so years ago, was because I kept getting blocked in chat and timed out because you and I were having like an actual discussion. It wasn't a fight. We were having like actual like kind of debates, and the mods would always time me out and block me. And so so then you modded me because that way I wouldn't get blocked or timed out, and we could continue having a discussion, And I remember Zozo saying the same thing, that's why she also became a mod back when.
Yeah, because I didn't want people blocking Zozo either. I was like, come on.
Right.
I don't really like,
exactly.
I don't like just regular comments that aren't disparaging to the channel blocked unless they're trying to pump another channel or they're doing some sort of troll, actual troll behavior. I don't like just normal comments, even if they're debate comments removed. It's hard to catch them though. It's hard to know what that is. What's the line there,
but I feel like if people don't know that, you know what I mean? Like for whatever reason, they think that, you know, people become mods for whatever reason, but they don't know that. And you have like such a reputation for being a mean guy, you know?
Oh yeah.
That and people, I see it all the time in these chats. You know, they say, well, I guess it's not okay to have an opposing viewpoint. Then Gray, I guess it's not. Blah 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 blah. No, that's actually not true. Gray is totally okay with you having an opposing viewpoint. He may even mod you for it. You know?
Well, here's like, another thing too. It's when it's. I don't mind somebody having an opposing view. It's when you disagree and you say, "God, that's ludicrous." They go, "Well, screw you," and then they start like blasting you and just attacking. Then they're removed and they say, "Gray didn't let me have another view." And it's like, no, I let you have your view. I just didn't agree with you. And then you freaked out and went on a troll rant and you got removed. You know, that's how it works.
Yeah, you raped or you did a crazy, you know, they act crazy. Yeah. So, yeah, but I wish I had said that on that panel last night, but next time, I will. It's a good story though, because I'm sure there are other people that have been modded because they keep getting blocked all the time. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or timed out all the time. So. Yeah,
anyway. But by the way, everybody, you know, this is 8675309. Jenny, she's a moderator, you guys. So you know, you don't want to be too. Get her off the stage, you know, whatever. We were just trying to figure something out. Some people, you know, I mean, who knows? I mean, I think now she realizes, oh yeah, the other one was one, but it wasn't a big deal. It's like, we're just goofing around. I mean, it doesn't even, you know, right? I mean, are you going to go, oh my God, we didn't agree on who was, you know, who gives a shit, right?
No, I actually don't care at all. It doesn't really matter to me, but
it's fun to figure something out, though.
Yeah, I'm curious about it, though. But it's crazy to me how young the person in the back looks, if that's the mom. It's just crazy to me. Like, the other reason why I think it's the mom is because this person in the back looks like she's like 11 years old or something, and the person in the front has makeup on.
Well, see this picture right here, the original one that we were looking at right here? I don't know if you're caught up yet, but this is the one in the article. Everything's smoothed out. She doesn't have the wrinkles under her eyes or anything because it's a smaller image compressed to make it into here. So when you look at this one, she definitely could be, she looks 17 or 18 years old, the one in the pink. However, when you see the original one on Facebook, you can see she looks a little older. Now that's where I think that's where you were seeing, because in this picture here, you can't see the detail on the face at all. They can't even see the forehead wrinkles nor the, you know, so there you go. It's good stuff. We sleuthed it out, man. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm just making a comment in the chat.
Oh. All right, don't worry about it. Okay, so go in there. Watch out, you guys. This is gonna be a bloodbath. All right, I got these two other calls. Let me get these, but I got another show at 7 with Mike King, so check it out.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, bye.
All right, see you. Bye. All right, this is another call-in user. Who's this?
Hello. Hi, Gray.
Hello. The name call-in user doesn't usually end well. What's going on?
I spoke to you like a few weeks ago, but I haven't like called.
Oh wait. Oh wait a minute. Aren't you the one that called in and then you called back in with another voice on another caller?
Could be.
Okay, I gotta let you go there. All right, see you. All right, man. Have a good one. Oops. Yeah. Oops. I don't remember. The other number accidentally got removed too. So he was that person. He goes, could be. Just not interested in talking to that person. So there was another caller. If you want to call right back in again, I think I accidentally removed you. I was trying to remove the other one. You could try it. I could tell that was him right away. I said, aren't you the one that called back in pretending to be another voice? And he goes, could be. But here's what and it's like, who the hell wants to listen to you at this point? Are you kidding me? Oh, wait, and actually I locked the meeting. so hold on. Okay, go ahead. If you want to try that other person that was on hold, if you want to call back in, I'll take one more call. Then I gotta go. I'll wait 5 seconds, maybe 10. I'm gonna hand 8675309 a sledgehammer. Here she goes. You guys are dead meat. That's hilarious. Come on, if somebody has the guts to call in and they want to call in, you guys don't need to be so brutal. Yes, I mean, I don't think she was right on the person, but who gives a shit? All right, 224, you're on.
Hello. Oh, thank you for picking up. I really respected your viewpoint of Zana and Ethan being murdered first, but I have a couple of reasons why it gives me a problem.
Okay.
First of all, the big loud noise that started the dog barking was at 417.
Yeah, that's exactly what my story is.
Exactly. But the thing is that with your story, it seems as though that 417 noise would be the murderer following up.
Yeah, well, the only problem is the room was Madison and Kaylee's room where they were killed, and the dog, however, is in the room on the 3rd floor, not right above Zana and Ethan, but a little bit forward of them. So the dog may have heard something from there, but also their sound would be muted if the dog happened to be near Madison and Kaylee because of the bathroom there. So they said they heard a thud and a dog barking. So maybe the dog started barking at the loud thud.
Right. And see, that's
but what do you mean, right, though? That's my theory. It goes, Zana and Ethan.
Well, yeah. But your theory.
There's no but, though. That's the weird. Well, what you're saying right now doesn't put a but into it.
Well, what I think, what I think though is that 417 was the first attack at Zana and Ethan's room. That was the loudest attack. I don't think that 417 would have been the murderer coming down and finishing them off.
Except, I know, but you're not. I know what you're saying. I get it. That's the other theory. It's Madison, Kaylee, then Zana and Ethan. I mean, yes, right. Except I'm trying to explain, because what you're not adding into the story is when the person said, "It's okay, I'm going to help you," and the only person that would say that would be the killer, and he would only say that if there was one person. You're not going to say that in the initial battle. Don't you agree that you're attacking Zana and Ethan and there's just all these thrusts going on, and then you go, "It's okay, I'm going to be here to help"? No, that's not how that would work. It would only happen if the person, you were trying to calm them down so you could get to them and attack them again, right? There's no, just picture that in your head.
That is the only part of your theory that works with me.
What do you mean the only part that works? It all works. No, but it all works. And that's the only way to make that part. That's the part that makes that almost necessary. But even without that, the story works,
Yeah. Well, another reason why I was thinking that he went up to Maddie and Kaylee first was because he was very, very focused. I believe that he watched through that window before walking in and saw that no one was in that kitchen. And so the minute he opened that door, I believe he would have taken not even 10 seconds to get to the stairs to go up.
Yeah, I mean, the Madison, Kaylee, then Zana and Ethan is, technically the more, the most likely, if you were just going to say, oh yeah, he went in there, he went upstairs, then on the way out, something happened. But mine explains the why things would have happened. Like, why would he have attacked Zana and Ethan when he was leaving, unless somehow they had heard and seen him and sort of, like, he knew that they had seen and heard them. So easily that could have happened on the way in. He attacks them first so that he could eventually have the house to himself to get upstairs to attack Kaylee and Madison, and when he does kill them, but when he comes down, he hears some more sound, and then he says, "It's okay, I'm gonna help you." And then she sort of like looks at him, or however it works. He kills her, and then she lands on the ground, because another thing that I brought up, which is sort of what you said, that they were killed last, is that Madison and Kaylee were both found on a bed, so there was no thud sound made when they were killed.
Exactly.
The other two were
right.
I know, but that works in my theory too. It works in all my that's what I'm saying. I don't just invent something. I try to put all the elements that are in the probable cause and have them work in a theory. And the only way I can explain it's okay, I'm going to help you, is if there's one individual still alive and he's going to go finish them off, because Ethan wouldn't say that, right? He's been stabbed mortally. So.
Yeah, well, that was and a couple of weeks ago, that was the first thing I said. Oh my goodness, he was hurt, but he still, tried to help Zaina. That was my first thought, but then I thought, oh no, that was not probably him.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so, unless he just was. He knew he was mortally injured somehow, and he just was kind of like trying to help anyways, and he says that.
Yeah, that was my first. That really was my first thought. My thought was, oh my God, the guy was wounded, and he looked at Zaina and said, "Oh, I'll help you." That was my first thought. But then I quickly said to myself, no, it was probably that guy, the murderer, and also, especially because that murderer, he was a security guard and it helped save somebody, and he's Mr. He seemed like he would be the first responder kind of person. Law enforcement trying to help, and that did sound like him to me.
Yeah.
One other thing that I was trying to figure out, what type of blood test, DNA tests take which amount of time, because I'm interested to know that DNA they took from the sheath, how long did that genealogy study take? Because they had it on
well, they're reporting
13th.
Well, they would get it, I've had guests on that explained it. They could, if they have a DNA sample, maybe it's a little harder with touch DNA like that, but you can within 2, 3, 4 days have a sequence uploaded to GEDmatch, and then you get the genealogist working on it. But we don't even know for sure, although larger news outlet ABC mentioned it. So but the probable cause does not mention forensic FGG, forensic genetic genealogy, because all they mentioned is that they took trash out of the garbage can of Bryan's father and compared it to the sample that was found on the sheath of the knife on the button, and it turns out that that's the father of the person, and that's how they made that comparison. There's no FGG in that scenario. So
yeah, well, I wonder because they had that sheath almost immediately, and they pulled that genealogy, and it came to where it was Kohberger. So they
no, but I just explained we don't know that it's possible that is what they did. That somehow it came up with Kohberger, and that's what really got them focusing on that. Then they compared the DNA of the dad, and that matched. But those could have been simultaneous things, and then maybe FGG was being done, and it's turned out it led right back to the same person. But they did not mention in the probable cause document that they used forensic genetic genealogy. They have said it on a couple shows and news articles that FGG was used, but I'd like to have seen it in the probable cause document.
Yeah, because
no, you are. Hold on a second, CVX. You are a fool because you said, "Listen to other people's opinions. You might learn something." Well, I have been listening to this. I've gone over the same theory and heard the same theories multiple times, and I'm. I do listen to them, but if something doesn't make sense, then I'm going to say something.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So. One reason why I'm wondering about these DNA test results when they come in, because I'm trying to figure out when the police halfway suspected Kohberger, because if they came up with the DNA result on that sheath I wonder how long, because they came up with the name, it seems to me, not, his name, but the family name. And having the name of the white Elantra owner at the Washington State dorm there, that was on the 29th, they had that name Kohberger. So if they had the sheath DNA tested, which came back with the Kohberger family name, I wonder how long did that take, because on the 29th, they also had Kohberger's name because of that registration to that white Elantra. And days later, he's leaving the state. See, days later, he's leaving the state.
Yeah, we read an article the other day that made it seem like they did use FGG because somehow they were able to narrowly focus in on him sort of early with so many Elantras around, and somehow they were able to focus in on him. So you wonder if there was a simultaneous stuff going on. That made him go boom. That's the other guy. They might have been. Remember how they said suspect vehicle 1? So maybe there was a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 5, but that's not making it back into the articles because into the probable cause, because they eliminated suspect vehicle 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're just got number 1. But if he was number 1, then that means he was the first one. But so that's weird too. But anyways.
Yeah.
Okay.
One more thing I haven't heard anybody mention, and it's been bugging me. The way the murderer passed by the house 3 or 4 times. This is my thought, was that he saw that DoorDash person in the area, and he was passing by, did that 3-point turn because he wanted to make sure that person was no longer there. That's one reason why I think he made those couple of those passes, because that's right at the time. Remember, he was in the
but the DoorDash was they said around 4. He got there at 4:04, so we don't know specifically when the door. No, I know what I'm talking about. They said the DoorDash got there at approximately 4, and he did the first. He drove by at 4:04, and then he came back and he tried to park or something, and he wasn't able to do it. He was trying to turn around, so then he went to the end of the road, did a 3-point turn, then drove back, and then maybe perhaps up and around to the back of the house. I made a whole video on that. Did you see it?
Oh, I've watched your videos. And what I understood was he parked at 4:04. But before that,
no, 4:04
he didn't park
is
at 4:04?
4. Well, even if it was 4:04 when he parked, it was it was 4:04 when he drove by the first time, when he then turned around by I think it was number 52. He turns around. That's 4:04. Then he goes down. Then he right in front of the house. He tries to turn, and it wasn't working. Then he goes down. That's why I have him parking around 4:06. Because it's 4:04 and he parks around 4:06. But even if it was 4:04, the DoorDash guy was at approximately 4, and he would just drop it off and take off. So it wouldn't be that he was doing the turn because the guy was still in the parking lot or something.
Oh, okay. Well, see, my thought was they had him parked at 4:04, and I thought, and he was in the area around 3:26. And so that gave him plenty of time to get up to the residence way before.
Well, he made, I guess he drove around. He made 3 passes by the house from, I think, 3:29 or whatever the hell time that was, up until 4:04. He made 3 different passes around the neighborhood, driving up on Elantra Drive, and then back around. And he just kept doing the same thing apparently, and then he just stopped.
At that time, he's driving around, and there aren't many cars driving around. So when he was driving around, between 3:26, 3:29, and 4:04, I believe that he and the DoorDash guy were 2 of the very few people in that exact vicinity. So that's why I think he saw the lights of the driver, or he saw the actual car, and that's one reason why he was passing a couple of times and maybe even did that 3-point turn and then went to park. That was my takeaway.
Well, I think then we'd have he would have seen somebody, the DoorDash
I think so.
guy.
I think Kohberger saw that DoorDash.
Well, yeah, he may have seen the DoorDash guy, but in your
DoorDash
scenario, the DoorDash guy would have had to have seen him too.
Yeah, maybe. That's right, right.
Yeah.
Exactly. They may have seen each other's headlights.
Yeah, Valenta, not
think
Valentra.
so.
Yeah, but yeah. All right, so I got to get going because I got another show.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, well, cool.
Thanks so much.
You keep me on my toes. I can tell you that.
Well, I called you before.
I know. I remember.
And
you kept me on my toes that time too. Yep, I do remember.
Oh, you remember?
Of course.
That's very
I didn't remember what's your name again though? Because I mean, I remember the call. I don't remember your name as well. But what's your
Carolyn?
Carolyn. There we go. All right.
Yeah.
No, it was good. You always have good calls because I can tell that you think about things. You're not just sort of, randomly throwing stuff out there. So I like that.
Well, today when I was listening to you, I jumped in right as you were talking about the theory that you said, I may be in the minority, but, I do have this theory. And then when you just explained it and you said that he was coming back to finish off because, I want to help you. I said, yeah, that is right. That's right. And then I thought, go back, Carolyn, because wait,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more likely. It's probably more likely it's going to be Kaylee, Madison, Zane, and Ethan. I just think that the theory that I threw out there keeps in mind everything that's in the probable cause document, and it all works. So that's the thing.
Yeah. Well, there's so many things we won't ever find out, and I hate that because there's so many things we won't find out. Okay. Well, I'll keep listening to you. Thanks so much.
Okay. Now, well, hey, no, I'm sorry, somebody typed something. But anyways, no, I really appreciate you calling in. Carolyn, all right, thank you. Have a good one.
All right.
Bye-bye. Yeah. So, CVX up there, if you were talking to the whole chat, great, but also say, hey, chat. When you just type something in like, let's say somebody in the chat goes, you're an idiot. Who am I supposed to think you're talking to? I mean, why not you do whatever you got to do, but say who the hell you're talking to. Because, of course, you're going to think that it's here because you're not talking to anybody. All right, anyways, I got to get going, and I want to thank, see if I got this, shoot. That's right, they changed everything here. It sucks. Like, everybody, you don't need to all get so heated about everything in the chat. It's like, if you have callers calling in, at least they're calling in. Were you calling in? No, you weren't. So don't bitch about the callers. If there's troll callers, I'll say something. I know who the troll callers are most of the time. Sometimes they sneak in, like the guy that claimed he had cancer and then threw in a really shitty term. All right, thank you, Kubi, the Mike D Experience, Cheyenne R, Being Nancy, Cat Aussie Girl, Lane S, Chase Borden, not Lizzie Borden. Wait, hold on. Chase Borden, as in Lizzie Borden. Wonder Woman 77, Tracy, Lark E, Joel Sane, Chase Borden again. Have you heard about Ethan wounds being super bad? No idea. Missing Person Case Network, Kubi, Scott, Scoutin' Dudes, and then CG, Classical Guitarist, and then Scoutin' Dude with a multiple, like double, quadruple, 2 different 100s in a row. So Scoutin' Dude, then Mike D Experience, Miranda Lee, Katzin, Scoutin' Dude again, Trish Escaped, Piney Palace, Inspiring Sobriety, Brown-Eyed Girl 714, The Night Mike D Experience, Jones in, Mustang Sally, Just Pookie, Alley Cake, Georgina Stoliker, LMM, as in Element Open. She said, best mods ever, chats rock too. Good job, LMM. And then it was Layla, the Kawaii Crafter, Jamie, Tosh, and Ashley Grahoski. Okay, let's see. We gotta check one more place here. Oh, and then Robert Cody on Cash App. So thank you. I don't think there was any PayPals. I don't see them. So. Anyways, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys later around 7 o'clock, all right? And well, I'll do really quick. I'm going to spin on this first show. Let's do for an everything tumbler, okay? Here we go. That's one of the big prizes here. Hey, thanks, Colleen Daily Page. Let me throw that in there. All right, you're in there. You guys ready? This is for the Everything Tumbler. All right, here we go. Oh, Jesus. Yep. CG again. Boom. Shakalaka, man. That's with, hey, Scouting Dude, send me an email. I'll send you something anyways, all right? So if you're out there, Scouting Dude, send me an email. We'll send you something. All right, there we go, there we go, there we go. That is it. I know the kitchen sink isn't right, John Dunn. The kitchen sink's in an angle in the corner. I've said it 100 times. It just doesn't matter, though, does it? Right. It's weird that you didn't notice it, even though I've mentioned it 55 times on the show. Interesting. All right, you guys. We'll see you guys in a little bit. And thank you very much for being here. Thanks for all the support. Really appreciate it. Until next time, everybody. Peace. Safe out there. And a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a... Oops, wrong one. And a 5, and a 6, and a 7. And an 8, and a 9, and a 10, and 11, and a 12, and a 13. There we go. Yeah, I've been doing 14, and a 15, and a 16, and a 17. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, plug rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya. Go Lori, go Lori, go Lori. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Greg is gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fool reflector, interceptor, and I'm neater than a spectre with a vector. On his pector, with all respect, y'all. Just remember I've a temper fucking check ya. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without a blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just
just get right back to work. All right, everybody? Talk to you.
Goodbye, everybody. Yay! Oh boy, I got you all that time, didn't I?
Oh my God, Mary Lou, you're getting a little crazy there, aren't you? All right, we'll see you guys later. Maybe in 45 minutes or so. Be safe out there. Maybe it'll be like 7:15 or something. All right, bye.